I landed a job before graduation. Not just any job, but one that paid well, one that helped me build my network, one that had so many opportunities for career growth, and honestly, skills that I still use today. And it honestly all started with a research assistantship position. In this video, I'll show you how you can land the research assistantship position, even if you have no idea what research assistantships are or don't even know where to start. Sharing where you can find these roles, how you can connect to professors, how you can put forward yourself as a strong candidate. Research assistantship roles are really good because they pay well. On average, they can pay between 22 to even 35 or $40 per hour, depending on the project or the research institute. And in most cases, because you have a research assistantship role, you can actually work as many hours as you want. When I moved to Canada, I honestly did not know what I was going to do after my master's program. I did a professional master's, and so I wanted some opportunity to actually do research just in case I wanted to do a PhD. However, I did not just want any research assistantship role, but I wanted a research assistantship role that had a fine balance between research and also direct knowledge translation that was applicable in the industry and that would help me build concrete skills that I can use after graduation if I decide to go into the job market. Let's dive into strategies that work and where you can find these roles. The first place you can actually always check, of course, is your university website. So your careers website of your university, where they would post research assistantship jobs. In most cases, research assistantship positions would actually be posted in your faculty or departmental website pages. So make sure you are always checking those pages for job postings and career opportunities. And in some cases, they even send out emails to like students on available opportunities. It's also very important that if your university or your college is affiliated with different research centers, always go to the pages of those research centers to actually look if they have ROA postings. So, for example, UBC, where I went to, has various affiliations, and one of the institutes which I actually worked at was the BC Children Hospital Research Institute, which was connected to Department of Pediatrics at UBC. The second way that you can actually do this is connecting directly with professors. So apart from just teaching, professors usually have lots of grants and funding for various projects. So some professors actually work on so many projects that they may just have projects there that they need students to do one or two things on, but they don't actually have job postings out for those. So when you approach a professor, normally they would, ask for a quick call with you. They could tell you about some of the projects that they have ongoing, and sometimes you even have the opportunity to pick which projects that you want to work on. One of the hacks that I've learned on how to know professors who have funding is this may not be applicable to your university, but you should try and explore it if it's possible. So most universities would list their faculty, and by faculty I mean their professors, or even on the departmental pages, you would have the list of the faculty of that department, and you will get to see the various things that they work on, the various areas that they work on, their research interests, and a little bit about their work history. And in some cases, you would actually explicitly see that this professor is looking for students, just like this one here. So you would see that, they're looking for either like master students, PhD students, or internship students, or co-op students. And so if you go onto such pages where you're looking through different faculties, and then you see the faculty that has an area that you're interested in that you want to work with, and then you see their profile, they're greatly connected to the industry, it's something that you're interested in, that is an opportunity to connect with that professor. And in most cases, their emails are actually publicly available, so you can actually shoot them an email. An email that I sent to professors while I was in school, while also attaching my academic CV. I would be talking more about that later in the video. Some other schools may have dedicated, graduate and postdoctoral studies website pages, and sometimes when you go to these pages and you want to explore the different faculty, you would also see the faculty listed there and who's available, who's looking for students, just like this one here. This is also very applicable to people who are looking for like masters or PhD funding and they want to get professors to supervise them. This is one of the ways you can actually be doing that. Apart from connecting with professors through that means, you can also connect to professors who you've actually attended your classes. So if you attended a professor's class, you really like your teaching, you really like the area that they're working on, you can actually send them an email directly and let them know that you want to work with them. So that's why it's important that, you're building visibility with professors, you're being attentive in class, you're engaged, you're attending office hours, you're actually showing that you're ready to learn. My first ROA role, I got it because I directly emailed the professor. Another way you can actually get a hold of these opportunities is when you network with senior students. And by senior students, I mean like probably students who are like a year ahead of you or 2 years ahead of you, like PhD or master students. Usually they would be aware of who has funding or who has available opportunities. And some of them may be working directly in those labs, so they would know if opportunities are available. So talk to students who are already working with professors. They might know who is hiring. This is really important, especially if you're international students. You want to also be connecting with not just your fellow international students, but also like domestic students as well. I remember when I was looking for opportunities, then I connected with other domestic students, and they were actually able to tell me some of the professors who were hiring and how much they were paying. So, how should you be applying for these positions? Like I said in my previous video on applying for teaching assistantship positions, you want to use an academic CV to apply. And that is because an academic CV gives you the space to actually not put in just professional experiences, but also volunteer experiences and also showcase like your undergraduate project. If you've had publications, if you've attended conferences, if you made presentations, these are all things that are highly valued in the academic environment. So use an academic CV to apply, and I'm going to be putting a link in the description of this video, an example of an academic CV. When you're sending out emails to professors, you should be very direct with what you're bringing to the table. Of course, introduce yourself, who you are, mention what you're looking for in terms of like what your interest is and why you're reaching out to them. Let them know about some of the skills or the experience that you already have. Again, because you want to bring something to the table, you want to be offering value, and also mention why you're interested in working with them. So this is a very simple email template that I used when I was in school. And I remember sending this out to about 5 professors, and 4 of the professors got back to me, and I got 3 different offers from that. So you can revise this email to fit your own situation. And when you send out this email, always attach your academic CV. Common responsibilities of research assistants can include writing, data analysis, data collection, data interpretation, and a lot of other things depending on the professor or depending on the project, conducting interviews, conducting surveys, so on and so on. One of the things you can start doing is that if there are softwares and tools that are actually quite commonly used in your area, you should learn them. So, for example, like analysis software, data analysis software like Arrow, SAS, in Vivo, SPSS, or other qualitative methods of analysis. Make sure that you're actually keeping up with the trends. Again, some of the common things the research assistants can actually do is like literature reviews, systematic reviews. Again, libraries usually offer like webinars and seminars on this. You can learn them on YouTube. And yes, sometimes you can even take courses on them. It's important that even if you want to get a research assistant role to learn more, make sure that you're bringing some form of value and some form of assets that would be relevant. I also took courses on qualitative methodology and quantitative methodology that really helped me to stand out. Being a research assistant isn't just about getting a paycheck, it's about building concrete skills from project management to critical thinking skills to writing and communication skills. And most importantly, you're connecting with professors, which equals strong references. And in most cases, like I said, most professors have connections to industries. So that may just be your connection to landing a job even before graduation. And if you're someone who is actively wanting to do a PhD after graduation, that is something that you can always leverage on. I had an RA job for over a year, and I strongly recommend it. So if you're an international student in Canada, please do consider getting a research assistantship role. Do not wait for someone to hand in an opportunity to you. Make sure you are going out to get it. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share with someone who needs this. I'll be making more videos on graduate school and navigating graduate school and life in Canada generally. So make sure to turn on notifications so that you do not miss any video. And if you're a student who is graduating soon, you don't want to miss my next video because I'll be providing a checklist of all of the things that you should be doing months ahead of your graduation so that you're better prepared to transition into the job market.